How to Sell to Nigerians by Akin Alabi Chapter 1. How to make Nigerians want what you are selling. I want to start this book by sharing with you an experience I had in 2013 when I wanted to buy a house in Lekki, Lagos. I looked around a particular estate and ended up discussing with two different builders. They both tried to sell why I should buy from them and not from any other person. The two houses were five-bedroom houses with a boys' quarter at the back. However, one was priced at 118 million naira only, while the other one was priced at 120 million naira only to sell me why their own house was better than the other. They both claimed they used top quality building materials while the other used substandard products. Now, I am not an expert when it comes to building materials, so I couldn't tell. All I was concerned with was how great it looked, except a particular part of a building was physically dilapidating. I cannot tell which is which in terms of quality materials. After about a week of inspection and negotiations, I settled on the house that cost 120 million naira, the more expensive one. Why? One day before I made a final decision to buy the house, one of the sellers made me an offer. He noticed I was very concerned about the quality of the building materials and how long they would last. He made me an offer that if any defects comes up within a year in any part of the house, he would replace it for me, and if it is a structural defect, he would return the entire money I paid for the property. He was ready to put it into a contract. I couldn't believe it. The man was so confident about his building and he was putting his money where his mouth was. Our lawyers came up with the contract and I bought the house, the more expensive house. Let me tell you another story. In the year 2004, I advertised a seminar on web designing. I priced it at 15,000 naira per attendee. I put out an advert in a major newspaper. I rented a hall at Lagos Airport Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. I paid the resource person who would teach the attendees up front. Guess how many people attended? Zero. I was disappointed, naturally, but I did not give up. I went to learn more about what you will be learning all through this book. I learned about techniques of selling to Nigerians effectively. I reworked the offer. I offered free email consulting for 3 months for the attendees. I promised a CD-ROM containing 10 ebooks on web designing and also a web design software, which I downloaded online for free. I advertised the same newspaper. I rented the same hall. The only difference this time is I increased the price to 25,000 naira. Guess how many people attended? You are right. We sold out and we had people at the door with their money begging us to let them in. What's the lesson so far? I will tell you. Permit me to tell you another story. Years back, I used to be a member of an association called Association of Information Marketers of Nigeria. As the name implies, it was a group made of information creators and sellers. In case you are hearing about this for the first time, information marketers is a fancy term used for people who sell knowledge. I am sure you know people who sell products like masterclass tutorials, boot camps, seminars, audio teachings, and so on. It is a very simple but outrageous profitable business if you know how to do it. In fact, I started my business career selling information products. I've told that story over and over again, so I won't bore you here. No, I've changed my mind. I believe there would be many people out there who have not heard my story before, and I will be doing them a disservice if I skip it, just because I assumed everyone had heard the story before. If you have heard it before, pardon me. I started my business selling knowledge and information. In September 2002, I attended a 5-day seminar organized by a man who later became my mentor, Dr. Sonny Ojabwes, the publisher of Success Digest and Complete Sports. He taught me and the other attendees how to package knowledge and information to sell both online and offline. Let me digress a bit. I lived with my parents in Ibadan, Oyo State. at that point in time. The seminar was being held at Ago Palace Way, Okota, Lagos. I didn't have friends or relations I could stay with in Lagos, and I certainly couldn't afford to pay for a hotel. I did something I think is a crazy thing. 99% of people wouldn't dare do it. I went to Lagos from Ibadan for 5 days. I would go to Iwo Road and look for the cheapest bus, Sule, to my 12. I would drop at Sele bus stop and walk to Esuola Street off Ago Palace Way. For 5 days, that was really crazy. That is why I laugh when I put up a seminar in a town and people start asking, when are you coming to our town? Whenever I organize a seminar in Lagos, for example, they will ask, when are you coming to Calabar? Or when are you coming to Aba? I ignore. I ignore because my belief is that if they find my teaching valuable, they should be able to come to where I am to learn from me. The hilarious thing is the day you decide to go to another town, those in that town will suddenly disappear. When you announce another seminar in another town, you hear them again asking, when are you coming to their town? The most hilarious thing, though, for me, when I put up a seminar in Lekki, Lagos, you wouldn't believe what some people would ask me. When are you coming to Ikeja? Lord. Those kind of people, even if you bring the seminar to Ikeja, they will ask you, when are you bringing it to Opebi, Ikeja? If you take it to Okpebi Ikeja, they will ask you, when are you bringing it to number 10, Okpebi Ikeja? Don't be like such people. Go all out to get the knowledge that can help you. Anyway, where was I? Okay, after I learned the business, I decided to launch my first information product. You see, before the seminar, I had tried to relocate abroad like most young Nigerians. I tried to relocate to Canada. I went through most of the steps but stopped when it got to the stage where I had to pay. I can't remember how much it was in 2002, but I know I couldn't afford it. If you know anyone who has relocated to Canada through their permanent residence immigration scheme, you should know the person is not poor. The person is not going to Canada for money. Such a person is probably looking for a better standard of living for himself and his family. Whatever. After the seminar, I brought out my pen and paper and created a guide on how to relocate to Canada. I went online and add more information and download some forms. I then took a small advert in Success Digest. It cost me 3,500 naira, which I consider my business startup capital. Sales came in and I kept repeating the ad. So I decided to create another information product. I had become quite good in the process of creating and selling information products. The product creation itself, the crafting of adverts and sales letters, the use of automatic email responders, product delivery, and so on. So I created an information product. On how to create information products, did I hear you call me smart? After that, I created more and more information products on different topics. I created products on web design, sales letter writing, business registration, girl toasting, food making, and what have you. I was having fun. Then I stumbled on sports betting. My brother Ayo asked me if I had ever heard of sports betting. He asked me if I knew I could bet on football without having to predict the scores. I told him no, but I thought it was interesting. He asked me to look for a lad Brooks, William Hill or Coral shop around. I was in Hilton Keynes and spotted a betting shop at the city center. I went in and placed a bet and won. Placed another bet and lost. Then I won again. Then lost. I found it very exciting. When I left that shop, I came up with an idea to create an information product on how to bet on sports. I created a 14-page tutorial, explained what it was all about and how it could be done online. I listed the websites that accepted Nigerian residents. I took out a half-page advert in Complete Sports and wrote a mad sales letter. The product sold and sold, made millions. After about a month, some of those who bought my information products came back to me asking me to help them fund the sports betting accounts they opened following my tutorials. They faced some form of restrictions making payments online. That was 2008. Making payments online was not as easy as it is now. I asked them how much they wanted to fund and I got responses like $100, $250, $500, $1,000, and so on. Then it hit me. Why do people need to transfer money abroad to bet? Why can't we have a sports betting portal in Nigeria? Then I started working on how to create one. That's another story for another day. I will write how I pioneered the multi-billion naira sports betting industry in Nigeria. I think I should title it the nairabet.com story. Or what do you think? Anyway, after I created the website, I sent a message to the database of those who had bought my tutorials on sports betting. It was an instant hit. The market was there. The want was there. All I needed was to provide them the service, which is one of the lessons I shared in my book, Small Business, Big Money. The lesson was, do not create a product and find a market. Rather, find a market and create a product to satisfy that market. Get the book or more lessons on that. Onward. How did I get here? Okay, I was talking about the occasion I belong to, the Association of Information Marketers of Nigeria. Like most voluntary associations and NGOs, we needed money to run the secretariat and the operations. We suggested different ways we could raise money. The obvious suggestion was to tax ourselves. Our president, Dr. Ojiagbase, opposed this. He said, since we were all information marketers, why couldn't we come up with an information product idea and sell? We went back and forth and came up with a solution. 20 members. I'm not too sure of the number anymore. I'm getting old. Would donate their digital information products so we can bundle the sale. We put everything together as one package. The package contained 20 information products ranging from how to design a website to how to attract traffic to your website to how to write a killer sales letter and so on. The average price of each of those information products was about 5,000 naira. If you want to buy them individually, you would be spending about 100,000 naira. But if you buy the all-in-one package, you will spend only 4,500 naira. Dr. Ojagbese tasked me to write the sales letter. We put out the offer and the result was wild. The association made millions. We didn't need to tax each other anymore. Why did the offer sell? That is the lesson of the three stories I've told you and this chapter in general. The offers in the three stories were too good to refuse. Your job from now is to start creating offers that are so good and powerful people would find it difficult to refuse. Offers they will look at and say to themselves that I've got to be an idiot not to take this up. The three offers are what you can refer to as a woof. Nigerians love a woof. Nigerians love offers that look like they are ripping you off. Nigerians would rather pay more when they feel they are ripping you off than pay less when they feel you are ripping them off. Let me emphasize this last statement. Nigerians would rather pay more when they feel they are ripping you off than pay less when they think you are ripping them off. It is not about low prices, it's about crazy offers. Nigerians love our wolf. We love our offers that are too good to be true. That is why we fall for funny investment schemes. Investment schemes you can slap a 10-year-old boy for participating in are being taken up by educated folks. That is why Wonder Banks fleeced a lot of people in their hard-earned money in the late 2000s. Later, MMM came. Educated Nigerians fell for it. Those of us who warned that this was a big scam were ridiculed for taking that position. They said we do not want the average man to succeed. They particularly hounded me being a founder of a sports betting company, NairaBet. I explained that when it comes to gambling, you know the risks of what you are getting into. It was never packaged as an investment opportunity. It is purely entertainment. One would think with the scam of Wonder Banks and MMM, Nigerians would stay away from such schemes. Today, the year 2021, people still fall for them. Just this evening, I read about the cries of some Nigerians who got scammed by an investment scheme called Binomo. While the perpetrators of these crimes should be arrested and jailed, we need to enlighten our people that there is no investment where you can just